Well, hi there. If you're looking for a video that explains how ABA is actually good, unlike a lot of videos I've seen saying otherwise, then you've come to the right place. Before anything, I want to make it clear that I do not hate on the people who make videos saying ABA was disappointing and not worth the wait. I am simply giving my point of view on how they are wrong and nothing else. This video will be divided into 3 main points that have people arguing: movement, combat, and balancing. The movement in this game is overall really good, and people say it's wonky for one good reason: they are not used to it yet. The game came out barely over a week ago. If people go from Soul Shadow to UTPR, they are gonna say the exact same thing. If people go from UTPR to AB, they're gonna say the exact same thing. It's wonky because it feels different and we need to adapt. The developers have addressed this issue before, literally saying what I just said. Not losing stamina when running is overall a good change, since 1. Stamina contributes to your gain of time, and 2. It gets eaten alive by most utilities or even regular dashes. Some people might not like the lack of movement some characters have, like Asgore, Cross Phase 1 and GTFrisk Phase 1, since they don't have a teleport. However, a thing people do not know, and I cannot blame them for, is the existence of what I call a dash jump. No, not that kind of dash jump, this kind of dash jump. This allows for characters with low mobility to catch up to opponents who make distance, like Sans. GTFrisk doesn't have that because his Phase 2 has some of the best utility. The combat is just better than old AB by miles. We went from whoever had the highest damage combo and can perfect block the best wins, to using your moves well in the combo and not wasting them when the scaling is already really high for the extra 10 damage that does nothing. And also having more options than perfect blocks and M1 clashing to start a combo. And trust me, the fights actually feel like fights now and not just combo simulator, and it is so much better. I am sure everyone would much rather have a real fight than sitting in a 50-second long combo that eats half of your HP, like a certain AB character. There's also utilities that change depending on your characters and move page. Asgore's utility helps in the neutral, Sans's utilities are extremely versatile, and way more. As for the game doesn't feel like AB or doesn't feel responsive, again, you are not used to it. And it was the case in AB2, since for example Sans's block had a much shorter wind-up than Gasta's block. The only thing where I can agree ABA handled poorly are mana punishers. Aside from Asgore's ult, there are just none. If you try to punish low mana, the scaling will get in the way, and you'll end up doing the same damage as if they had full mana. A nice change would be making it so the lower your opponent's mana is, the lower the scaling builds up to allow for mana punishers. Although the balancing is not at its best, it's clearly better than old AV and the vast majority of SS type games. I'll go over each character briefly. Sans is a zonal trickster character. Although he might seem like he struggles to initiate a combo, his Bone and Blaster utilities are extremely good tools to catch the opponent off guard, allowing you to start a combo. Speaking of, his combos are short outbursts of damage, as the scaling does affect him quite a lot. Even without his utilities, tools like Telekinesis 2 and Aerial Bone 5 are really strong tools to turn the tide of the fight. Asgore is a tank rushdown character. While Sans needs to stay away and trick the opponents, Asgore has a completely different approach, as his neutral options are kinda ass. The only thing he has in neutral is Trident 1, which is very easy to dodge. As Asgore, you will have to rely on your opponent's mistakes to initiate a combo. His Triton 3 is your best defense tool and can even be used as a neutral tool if your opponent doesn't know you can block it. Trust me, it happens a lot more than it should. His damage is not the best, but his Fire 5 and ultimate can compensate that quickly if you know how to utilize them. GTFrisk is both an all-rounder in Phase 1 and a glass cannon in Phase 2. In Phase 1, Frisk has extremely good neutrals like Shield 1 and DT4 while also dealing pretty high damage and having one of the best utilities in the game. What does it do? It gives you 4 buff options to choose. You can only use 1 buff per utility though. Those buffs being 250 decaying overhealth, extremely strong when you're about to die, 50% mana reduction for the next 4 moves, perfect if you don't want all of your mana to be eaten when you do a strong combo, a one-time unbreakable block, which is very underrated as it can save you from a mistake that could have costed you the round, and 20% of your ult meter, which is really good for both Phase 1 and Phase 2 as the ult meter carries over. However, his low 300 HP forces you to utilize your buffs well and keep yourself alive for as long as possible. Phase 2 is where people get mad. Although he loses his buffs and his shield moves, he gains stronger variants of DT moves, gauntlet moves, and his ultimate, being a universal counter. People complain about the counter being able to counter everything, but it's just mind games like back in old AB. Unlock your projectiles to make them air somewhere else, to bait them. Use attacks at unexpected times to start a combo despite the counter being available. You name it. Cross is a combo machine, but also pretty fragile. His Phase 1 is overall balanced. He has good neutrals, really good combo potential, and really low cooldowns. If I had to give a nerf to his Phase 1, I would lower his damage a bit and increase his cooldown slightly. Phase 2, however, is a completely different story. While Phase 1 is mainly meant for combos, Phase 2 is, quote-unquote, meant to be used as a trickster combo or hybrid. The amount of shenanigans you can do with override to swap and the copy self ability is insane to catch people off guard. However, there is one issue. His damage is so good, you are better off using Phase 2 as a version of steroids of Phase 1. Which is a pretty big issue, especially since Cross has hands down the easiest ult to hit. How easy? You can chain it off of anything that ragdolls and it's instant. I get Cross is meant to be the glass cannon of the cast, only having 850 HP total. But that's just more HP and overall more damage than Sans. I know this video was about how ABA is a good game, but I'm not a glazer, I can still address issues. Well, that's all I had to say for this video. I'll be uploading the XSGO showcase vid pretty soon, hopefully. I just had to defend ABA on the hate it gets just because of people not being used to the game yet. And to clarify, I'm not fully used to the game either. Hell, I learned just yesterday that Sans's bonus 1 could be re-aimed if you used it again. I hope this video helps, well, whoever found it. And yeah, bye, I guess.